My name is Sayan Banerjee, and I am the mentee of the project Graphical Guided RC Tools, and my mentor is Aditya Singh. So let's dive right into what I've made. So what this project is, it simplifies or smoothen out the onboarding process of new contributors to Rocket.Chat. Like when a new contributor like me comes into the Rocket.Chat and just sees this code base, so like this, so it's basically they get overwhelmed. Like Rocket.Chat, if we just check that if we have it something like this, there are, if we just check, there are 66,900 TS or TSX files. So it's very normal that somebody will get absolutely overwhelmed with this. So there comes our project to help new contributors to understand the main parts of the code base. And we are using our VS Code extension called Code Tools to help this process up, so that whenever a new contributor comes, they can start very quickly. So what we are trying to build is that we got available tools, like some of the tools which were already present were repository overviews, and how a message would be sent client side, and or how a message is sent server side in the code, and all these were present. But we have also added some cool diagrams to help, and also that I have made something like Rocket.Chat onboarding process and understanding how the monorepo structure of Rocket.Chat functions, which I will be showing in a demo video. So some of the this project, this specific project which I'm working on was already present previous year. So why an extension of that existing project? It is mainly because it's not because something was wrong with the previous project, but the way code tool extension works, it's kind of not suitable for dynamic code bases like Rocket.Chat. For example, we are explaining a function, let's say send chat function, but the main problem what happens is that due to open source contribution and something like that, the same function can go 10 lines up or 10 lines down. And what happens is that our tool explaining the send tool function is now pointing with the wrong direction. So in our project, what I've done is to create a script which automatically assigns these tools to where it should be. So yeah, I think it's better that I show the demo. So yes, this is our Rocket.Chat code base, the main chat base. And somebody wants to understand how it's getting done. So one needs to do is first they need to set up Rocket.Chat server. I mean, they don't need to run it, but it should be in such a state that if they type yarn DSV, it should run. Okay. So next is they must have code tool extension installed, which is go in here, code tool, and they should be installed. Okay. Another necessity, they should be there in the Rocket.Chat root. They should be present in the root, and they must have Node.js 14. So let's just set our node -v. We are Node.js 14. Okay. So to start this thing, to have the script running, like you can check that there is no script. I mean, no tools here. We just simply need to go through the script and here. Okay. So it's asking for a repository link. Now there are two things. One, if somebody is a contributor of RC guided tools. So to be a contributor, the main thing is to fork the repo. So here one must paste the URL of the forked repo if he wants to contribute to this. But we just want to see that what we have built. We want to go through the repository, understand what Rocket.Chat code base does, and contribute. So we will press enter. It's just running the script, and yeah, the tools are generated. As you can see, the tools are filled. So to start the tool, Control Shift P on Linux based system and or Command Shift P on macOS. Start tool, and we can start with any tool. For example, how a message is sent. Like one can see with the diagram that complete overview of how a message is sent in Rocket.Chat. They can understand at their own pace. and get through it. Okay, so next thing is like this and all. Okay, now the main problem which we have used the script, like for example, to render this UI thing, what code tools does is to generate this .tour files. This .tour files is responsible for generating, but the main problem here is in the client side. If you just check here, it's hard coded line number 45. As you can see, this is hard coded line number 45. But if somebody comes, there is an open source contribution, let's say, let's const str, somebody have added some hello world, this is added. So this is a concept, this is a problem, right? Now if somebody tries to run it, this is now showing to the wrong place. It should be showing here. So for this case, what one needs to do is to go in multi-guided tools, and it should run tools. Okay, and now it should just show to where it should be. And it's showing where it should be. So what this script is doing is to dynamically generate these .tool files. This script is dynamically generating the .tool files. Okay, this is the main part of the project, and I have added also additional tools in here, which is Rocket.Chat onboarding. Like when somebody onboards to our repository and is looking to contribute into it, what are the main steps one should follow? Like having nvm installed, node.js 14. Okay, major thing, everybody, I mean, in the Rocket.Chat community, everybody is saying, or the most common error is that unable to install Rocket.Chat, it's not running. So we have created an interactive tutorial. Just by clicking these few buttons, one can install Rocket.Chat. So we have done that. Like if another common thing is people who are using WSL inside Windows, I mean, they are unable. They are not sure. They're, since they're beginners, they're not sure whether they're inside a WSL cell. Most people just install Rocket.Chat in Windows only. Even they have WSL. So just click this command, and you see you are inside the WSL shell, or I mean the Ubuntu. If they have Ubuntu or whatever operating system they have. So yes, another thing which we have added is that debugging. Like you get to Rocket.Chat, now you're completely lost how to debug. Everybody has their own debugging styles, but I have added some generic tips that you must do what, and like for example, what I've added is that everybody knows that client-side JavaScript get added to the browser, but there is also a command to add server-side JavaScript to the browser, and you can do that using this. So these are some cool tips, and with some screenshots to help people get started with contributing as fast they want, as fast they can. And yeah, some VS Code shortcuts. I've seen many beginners not utilizing these things and just doing things way more manually. Another thing is common thing which I have seen is that people are just, I mean, to start the Rocket.Chat server, we write yarn DSV, but curious minds like me always wants to know that what's happening behind the scenes. So we have introduced a monorepo thing, and we also can check that I mean, I have tried to explain what is the workspaces, what workspaces are we using, and yarn DSV, what it's doing behind the scenes. And for example, we can check how many workspaces we have, and we have, I guess it's right, we have 61 workspaces. What are these workspaces? So yes, this should help people to understand the overall structure of uh, Rocket.Chat and monorepo, turbo repo, why we're using turbo repo. So yes, this is also a main thing. Now coming to the part that how the, I mean, last year what had happened is that we were meant to I mean, the main .tours file, this .tours folder was supposed to be added, but it could not be because of the dynamic nature of Rocket.Chat. Everything is changing, so the tools need to also be changed. So the script, how it's doing, it's kind of doing like a basic string search, looking for unique strings. For example, if we just check that how it's just looking for I mean this thing, how it's assigning, is searching for this string and just putting it to its appropriate line number. And one can argue that what if this string changes, what if the search string changes? But the purpose of using code tools right here is we are explaining the main parts of the code base. So it's not very often that these parts changes, and these search strings have been assigned very systematically. That, I mean, in the last 4 to 5 months I have been using these search strings and they haven't been changed till yet. So some of the things, like the challenges which I faced, is like understanding the huge code base. I mean, when you are trying to explain somebody Rocket.Chat code base, you must also know it, you must also master it. So I have learned it, and the best way of learning is making several pull requests, and I've made a lot of pull requests. Another thing is that what this script, I mean, I thought, I mean, last year what it's supposed to be is to that the .tools folder should be merged with the main code base. So I've created a script inside the main code base so that it can be merged. But later on, we just found or realized that keeping these two services decoupled, not depending depending on the other thing, is the best decisions. So we have come up with the architecture like this, that Rocket.Chat is residing on its own GitHub repository, and our RC guided tools, the script, the TypeScript files, which is responsible for dynamically generating the .tool folder, is residing on its own GitHub thing. But when it's running locally, since RC guided tools needs to be present along with Rocket.Chat, they will be present together. But Rocket.Chat, I mean, Rocket.Chat will locally get ignored. It's not a globally, not inside a .ignore file, but inside the, like in here. Just let me just show you here. Yeah, like we have get ignored the .tools folder as well as our script. So yeah, so that's how we are get ignoring it. And some of the future goals which we have is like, to further development purpose of new tools, one is to open the TypeScript file. I mean, you can see the TypeScript files is not that intuitive. You need to do a lot of work around here and there. But they also present, I mean, code tools also present a UI based approach, and we will be working on it so that one don't need to open the TypeScript file, can directly do it. We can make it more generalized, that this our app or application can be used not only to describe Rocket.Chat but also other Rocket.Chat applications, or even making an npm package so that any project which uses code tools can easily find, I mean, can easily use our app, because this is the major problem. Okay, so one thing which I've missed is that okay, no, that's it. So I would like to lastly thank my mentor, which is Aditya Singh. He has very much helped me throughout the process, giving me the freedom to work on this. Having a mentor like Aditya Singh is really an honor, and I'm very happy to work alongside him. Like on some random day, I don't remember the exact date, I just messaged him about my solution, and he just literally said he never thought that this could also be possible. And when I explained it to Singh also, he has also gave me a lot of cheers. So this really motivated me to work on this project, to help new contributors get started with Rocket.Chat very quickly and very quickly. I mean, because I've seen many people who are far more talented than me, but unable to get into Rocket.Chat and contribute to the main code base. So yeah, that's it.